Order at 8:59 because we've got a new commissioner to welcome. So we're glad to have you, Matt.
Well, thank you. Good to be here.
It's you're gonna have a busy time.
Well, that's okay.
Jump in with both feet.
Okay.
So shall we do that first, swearing in? And
Becky's got the oath of office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for you to take.
You solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of County Election Commissioner upon which you're about to enter.
I do.
good.
Thank you.
Yay. Good deal. One more signature.
We'll try. Can I give her that? other
Yes.
thing too?
Will you
That's
file
fine.
mark this one too as well?
I'll mark both these.
Yeah, and if you'll fill out that commission page on the back side.
Yep.
That's,
Do we email them or are you gonna come?
I'll come and get them. I'll have minutes to bring to you. So, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky.
You're good. I don't think so. I was gonna, I brought my passport with me so that someone could verify that I'm a US citizen.
so I think we're good since you are, not taking compensation.
Yeah.
That's only for the I-9 part of it.
Oh,
Okay.
So,
yeah.
yeah, so the only other thing I'll fill out is just a form, and I don't have to have your signature, just setting you up as the commissioner. We'll
Okay.
use the oath of office and then that form that you filled
Okay.
out. And I
Fine.
think that's all we need.
We're good.
Did you want to take a photo?
She did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We got it all taken care of then. Thank you, Paula.
Get busy.
All right. Next item of business. We're going to get right down to work, Matt.
Okay.
Approve the minutes of the previous meetings or it was just one. And I've looked at it. Alexis has looked at it and I've gone ahead and signed it. Next item, November, not November the 3rd. I better get.
And I've got everything in the books
Okay.
tabbed, to make it easier to keep
Good.
up with all of our paperwork that we'll have today.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty significant amount here.
We'll move it.
So,
All right. Ballot information filing period.
so I wanted to, set this meeting up to, kind of go over the steps that we'll be taking for the general election and kind of start those conversations of the different things that are required from the commission. So part of the reason this book feels so full is, I went ahead and pulled statutes where we needed so
Oh,
that, there-
good.
so that, for Matt, this is
Right.
his first, go at a commissioner. Alexis, this is your first general
Oh,
election.
that's
Just,
right. Yeah.
So that we're all kind of, looking at the same information, looking at it, not just from my memory.
Right.
But from statute. So the first one is the filing period. This is for municipal offices only. It will start July 29th at noon. And then it will go to August 5th and end at noon.
Okay.
So all the municipal offices, will be filing it. They can file in the city clerk's office as well, and the city clerk can bring it to the county clerk's office. But they can also file in the county clerk's
Mhm.
office. And so the, offices up for election will be mayor for all of our cities with the exception of Fayetteville and Springdale. Their mayors were elected in
Yeah.
2024.
Okay.
And then, city council members, several cities have city attorneys up for election and some have city clerks or city treasurers up for election. But this filing period is for, municipal candidates, but also the Beaver Water District as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
And normally we don't have a contested race there. But if we do, that's when they will apply.
Okay.
So,
No, I appreciate you putting all the such information in here.
Yeah,
yeah.
I do appreciate it.
it's a good overview and a reminder. I mean, I had thought about this much. Okay, so it's a little quiet in the summertime, but
It is, but then starting July 29th, that once filing starts, and of course, we will post the filings daily
oh, right.
for
Okay.
the municipalities. All of the candidates that ran for the primary to be on the general election are already on the
Right,
county
right.
website, but those are still unofficial. So I've labeled
Oh,
them as
gotcha.
unofficial, but all that
Okay.
information is already on our county website.
Okay.
So,
Okay, any questions about any of this, y'all?
Oh, man.
Okay. We've got ballot draw.
So
Oh, that's soon then.
yeah, so the ballot draw will be Friday, August the 21st at 9 a.m. if that date works for all the commissioners.
Okay.
We have to give 10 days notice to the parties of when the ballot draw will be. And then we also send out notice to the candidates. We'll also publish it in the paper. And so in the city of Springdale is having a vacancy election, and that has to be included in their ordinance calling for the vacancy.
Okay.
Is Friday, August 21st at 9 a.m. It'll be here in the Election Commission office. And so this information that's in here is just the background information
Okay.
of when we will hold the ballot draw. We can't hold the ballot draw earlier. I know that filing ends on August 5th, but the deadline for the Secretary of State's office to give us the certified list of candidates is August the 20th. So
Oh,
we don't
okay.
want to do a ballot draw until we get a certified list
Right.
from the Secretary of State's office. So that's why we're doing it August 21st.
Okay.
I know it seems like a big
Big
stretch
stretch.
Right. Yeah.
in there, but that would be the reason we're doing that. date.
Okay.
Will we have to review again how the names appear on the ballot?
So if you look, and I've got a candidate letter, but I've also put in here the letter that we would send to the chairman. As long as the commission is in agreement, we'll do the same that we've done before. We'll compile a list by office, then by filing date, and then draw in that position. And then candidates in person take precedence
Oh, right.
over a candidate who's not present
Mhm.
or also over a representative.
Okay.
So, and the rules that we've established from previous are in here.
Can we change the date?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I thought I got them all changed, but
Yeah.
yes, yeah, this
Okay.
is just mock up for this.
Okay.
But I will have this on the agenda for the commission to sign at our next meeting
Okay.
in June,
Okay.
June 16th. And that way we can go ahead and get it to the chairs. I can get it on our website
Mhm.
and that we've got taken care of.
Okay. Questions, comments? Okay. Unopposed candidates.
Item C for unopposed candidates. So we went round and round with this during the primary election. So we're going to address it again for the general election
Yeah.
because different rules apply for the general election than they did for the primary
They
election.
did not simplify it.
No, they did not. So, for the general election, We are required to place on the ballot the unopposed offices for any state office, or the mayor or county city or county circuit clerk. Those are required to be placed on the ballot, even if they are unopposed.
Unopposed, yeah.
The unopposed candidates for justice of the peace, for constable, and for any other city position are not required to be placed on the ballot, other than mayor. Mayor is required to be placed on the ballot. And then, of course, we'll have on the ballot the language that says for all unopposed candidates,
Yeah.
which will be for all municipal and all county. The candidates that are unopposed so for instance, Attorney General is unopposed. They will appear not in one big column of unopposed names. For the general election, they have to appear as individual races.
Even though they're unopposed.
Even though they're unopposed.
Okay.
So we won't have that big, long list of
Mhm.
unopposed candidates.
Mhm.
They will be as individual races. And I've got, of course, this is all unofficial, but the candidate names that are to appear on the ballot, the unopposed candidates are the ones in green.
Oh,
Now, I think all the libertarians have filed who their candidates are going to be. But like I said, these are unofficial, so it could be there are other libertarian candidates out there. Independent candidates have already all filed, I know.
okay. Wow.
And then, of course, the nonpartisan judicial general, those candidates from the primary, their order of their names will stay the same as they were on the primary
Oh, yeah.
ballot, along with the school zone
Okay.
race for Elkins.
Okay.
And then I've provided a list of should have taken attorney general and state treasurer and auditor off there. County sheriff, county clerk, county coroner, and then those JPs will not appear on those top three. I should have edited those out.
Mm.
So yeah.
So, question. Do all of the JPs the ones that are unopposed, do they understand they will not have their name on I feel like they might get concerned.
They were not on there in 2024 and
Okay.
JPs run every 2
Right.
years. So for the previous years,
So they're not
their names
gonna
have
generally
have
be
not appeared.
unhappy.
No.
Okay.
And then this helpful hints when casting a
Oh,
ballot.
yeah.
If the voter wants to see who all the unopposed candidates are, including municipal
Okay.
candidates, this QR code will
Good.
take them to our website, which lists all the candidates.
Okay. Okay. Just, I don't want their big hue and cry that the
Right.
candidates didn't see their name on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions?
Hmm.
Answers?
The only county unopposed position that will be on the ballot is circuit clerk.
Okay, which that's,
And that's required.
Pretty
That's
normal.
One
Yeah.
that is set out specifically
Okay.
in the law to be
Yeah.
placed on the ballot.
okay. Y'all following all this?
Sure. I
Okay.
will have the binder to go back to review it.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is a binder I'm gonna take home because I need to look through this more.
And if on that unopposed candidate's not on ballot, just mark out attorney general, state treasurer, auditor. Those I accidentally left on there when I was,
Okay.
they will not, they will be on. the
They'll be
ballot.
on the ballot.
Yeah, so mark
Okay.
those top three off.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
So for like the ones that are gonna, the filing period that's just opening, determining, right. When they put their name on the ballot of how they would like, do we have to approve that as well? Because we haven't done that yet, because we don't know who's gonna file, obviously.
Right, so we'll get that information the
Mhm.
same way that we got all the
Mhm.
information from Becky's office. we'll get it for the municipal candidates
And
as
we'll
well.
do it when, I guess.
So we can set a meeting between August 5th
And
and
August
August
the
the
21st.
21st.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this all real clear?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Next tab, special elections.
So August the 25th is the 70-day deadline
Oh,
for a special
right,
election to
right,
be
right.
on the ballot, unless there's some other, some things have 60 days, but typically it's the 70 days. So these are the special elections that we, either
Anticipate.
talked about with the cities or have made known that they're going to. The state is having a special election, bond issue on the ballot. That language is provided by the state that will appear on every ballot. The city of Springdale, we believe, will have a city council vacancy. And so they will have, their ballot layout will be the normal municipal offices that are up for election, but then there will be a special header that says special election to fill vacancy. And so those candidates will be on the ballot. They will file at the same time period as the regular candidates to
Okay.
have the least amount of confusion for the city council
Yeah.
members who are filing, that their filing period will be the same.
Okay.
West Fork has had their first reading for an annexation election. They have to read it at 3 consecutive regular meetings. And so, we've already taken a look at the map. This will require us to create special precincts because there are 3 township areas that are outside the city that they're annexing in, but not the whole area is being annexed in, which means that we'll create special precincts. So only those voters in the annexation area would be allowed to vote. And then, of course, the people inside the city.
Okay.
The city of West Fork has also expressed interest in doing a local option election as well. So that requires them to collect signatures
Oh,
and
okay.
file, all of that. That will just be for the city of West Fork. So no special precincts are created for that. Winslow has also talked about having a special local option election as well. So that would be for the city of Winslow. It is possible that Elkins Fire District
Mm.
may want to hold a special election. That will also require us to create special precincts for that.
Oh,
And then, Greenland has also expressed interest in holding an annexation election. But this gets tricky because part of the annexation that they want to hold is part of the West Fork annexation.
oh,
So the map overlaps.
wow.
So we think what will happen is West Fork will hold their election first. Greenland will have to wait and hold their election in March. And then those people, if it passes in both cities, then those people who are in that annexation area will
Have to have a
their own
third
special
Oh,
election.
my gosh.
And we had
Wow.
to do this for the city of Springdale and city of Elm Springs. There was a piece of
Mm,
land
yeah.
that they were both wanting, and we had 3 elections.
Jeez.
So in addition to all of the candidates that will be on the ballot, and then all the constitutional amendments that will be on the ballot, we think these issues may be on the ballot as well.
So we will know by August the 25th.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we won't. We'll probably know by when we do the ballot draw.
Right, right.
Because most of the cities have to meet and their city councils meet
Mm,
in advance
Right.
of our ballot draw
Yeah.
typically. So we should have all this information when we do the ballot draw as well. But for us, this is just, it helps us to kind of keep track to not forget
right.
what should be placed on the ballot and the areas where we have to create the special precincts.
Okay. Any questions?
So many.
Far too many.
Far too many.
Lacey, are you ready for all this?
Yeah.
She's already got the ballot built out for
Do
us.
you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So we would do west, the ones that overlap.
Mhm.
We would do that one first
Mhm.
and then do Greenland
Mhm.
and then do a third one.
Yes,
Would the third one
Well, it depends on
definitely
the
be
out-
interested?
Well, yes,
Yeah,
right.
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
depends on the outcome.
Okay,
Possibly.
West Fork and Greenland
Mhm.
would both have to pass theirs.
Mhm.
okay.
And then those individuals in that area would have an election and it would just be only those voters. So the cities are not voting at that time. And basically the ballot says, do you want to live in
Right.
Greenland? Do you want to live in
West Fork.
West Fork? So, yeah.
And then when with that?
So this is one of the reasons I
Mhm.
contacted the state board was
Mhm.
because I knew we had done this election before with
Right.
Springdale and Elm Springs, but I couldn't remember all the particulars. It is held 3 weeks after, not 4 weeks, which is the
Oh.
normal timeframe. So it would be 3 weeks after the March election.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
They say we'll never have a special election and we seem to have them
Yes.
periodically.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
But it's this area. So this is what West
Mhm.
Fork is wanting to annex, and then this is what Greenland is wanting to annex,
Mhm.
and this is the area that both of them want.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Interesting.
so now Greenland has already held an annexation
Mhm.
election for this area,
Right.
but it didn't pass.
It hasn't passed. How
So-
many?
I think just once.
One, okay.
Yeah.
How do they, I mean, is that part gonna be in this new annexation that they're doing? The Greenland?
Mhm. So,
They'll do that first?
so West Fork will hold their election first.
Right,
So
okay.
all these people will vote, and if it passes, then Greenland will hold their election, but they have to wait and hold their election in March. Because that's the next available.
They've already done that once, though. Is that the portion they've
Just
done?
This area.
Okay.
They didn't, I don't believe they did this bottom part when they did their previous election.
Okay,
Yeah, when they did their previous election, it was only this
That
part.
part,
So
okay.
now they've kind of gone down to this part. So, yeah.
interesting.
So, when they tried to do little parts over here too.
Oh,
So, yeah. So,
okay. Well, should be interesting.
So no, we should just preemptively try to get those locations in both.
Oh,
yes, so,
Just book them off like.
we will, because we'll visit with the city of Greenland for their community
Okay.
center. And then, obviously the city of West Fork, we're using their site for the general election anyway, but then that third election,
Mhm.
if we have, it would be, I think we would want to open up both Greenland
Mhm.
and West
Yeah.
Fork
Yes.
yeah.
to be fair
Yeah.
to those that live in that area. So, yeah,
Wow.
so.
Any idea how many people live in that contested area? I think it's over 200.
It probably, I haven't looked and, once, it starts, they have to submit a list of people who live in those areas to it. So then I'll have a better idea of how many people it will be. So, yeah, because, one nice thing about annexation elections is it is the one election where the people who are in the annexation area are required to be notified that the election is happening.
Right.
And so once it gets passed by the city, they will submit a list of, and whether they're registered to vote or not. So it's
Mm.
basically anyone who has property in those annexation areas will receive notice from the county clerk's office that there is an election and where it's being held. Obviously, we're vote centers, but
Right.
West Fork. So they do get actual notification,
Yeah.
which is nice, because otherwise you might not realize that you're in that annexation area.
This is kind of a rabbit trail, but didn't we have an election in West Fork some time ago where a piece in the middle of West Fork rejected the annexation?
Yes, but the city voted for it.
Oh,
And so so when you have annexation elections, even if the area that's wanting to be annexed, it typically will never outnumber
right.
the city. And so if the city passes it, if the majority wins, basically.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
so.
Well, I just remembered that and thought, wonder where those people are now. Okay. Any other questions on this? That's still in the future.
And for us, on our part, we're really just placing it on the
Yeah.
ballot. But we want to make sure we get it placed on the ballot. And the other thing is the areas where we have to create those special precincts, to make sure that the right voters are actually getting it. So that's our part of it,
Okay.
basically. It's just making sure it does get placed on the ballot. The filing of it and calling for the elections happen at the city level and then filed in Becky's office.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions on that? Item 4. Okay, now we get to the big sheets. Early vote center locations.
So this is our proposal of
Okay.
early vote sites to be open for the
Mhm.
general election.
Let's go through it.
So American Legion, one thing we're looking at, these are just proposals. This
Right.
is not for the commission to make a decision today. This is just food for thought. For the American Legion, we were wondering, the voter turnout has not been as great as American Legion as it is for some of our
Right.
other locations.
Right.
We were wondering if maybe we wanted to close it for the first week of early vote, but then have it open for the second week of early vote.
Okay.
It's just a proposal. You guys may have completely different ideas. If you'll see, I have the voter turnout from 2024 was 1826. That was for the full 2 weeks.
Oh,
In 2022, no, in 2022, it was brand
it
new.
was new.
Yes, and it was only open.
And there
a
was-
limited amount
There
of
was
time.
construction or something. It was a little confusing.
Or completely rebuilt the city buildings down
Yes.
there.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
It's just across the parking lot, so the really, parking was at a real premium
Yeah,
down there.
it was.
was.
And ADA parking was almost impossible.
It wasn't close to the building.
Yeah.
We had to make. So in 2022, they did 271. Now, typically for a non-presidential year, our early vote numbers are about half of what we did for 2024,
Right.
so, but this is just a thought,
Yeah.
for us to look at. But we can't, certainly do the full 2 weeks. We had it open for the full 2 weeks for the primary. But in place of that week, we would have open the Springdale Senior Center.
Oh, yeah. And you feel like that is going to be a good
I
location.
do feel like the Springdale Senior Center will start to get more traction
Mhm.
than what we've had in previous, or the first go round.
Yeah.
So that's just American Legion. The next location is that Christ Church of Northwest Arkansas. So in 2024, we had 2 locations open in the city of Fayetteville that weren't our normal locations. One was Christian Life Cathedral, which was on Millsap.
Right.
The other one was the Christ Church of Northwest Arkansas. CLC was open the first week of early vote, and then Christ Church was open the second week of early vote. Now, CLC has come back and said they don't want to be a polling place
At all.
again. Yeah,
No.
they're not interested. Christ Church, we have open for the first week of early vote, but not the second week. And part of that reason is because it's not an election day site, which means we have to move the voting equipment to another location.
Mhm.
But if the commission, wants us to look at maybe having it open for the full 2 weeks, that's something to discuss. But I don't know how much voter turnout we'll get at that location. We did do 1748 in the 1 week it was open for the general election. So you could expect we would do about 1,000 voters probably
Mm.
for the 1 week it would be open, for the general.
What else is around there? besides
Well, it's a
Christian
great
Life will
location.
Yeah.
Well,
be closed.
I think if we did Christchurch, I think instead of replacing Christian Life Cathedral, it would be better to see if Christchurch would have us for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It's at the mall. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't get more centrally
I
located
know.
than the mall. Now, that would mean that we would have to move that voting equipment the second week. We would have to.
Oh, yeah, since they're not open.
Right. But so that's just something for you guys to think about as well.
Do we have enough crews yet?
So that's the other thing is the crews and the moving pieces
Right.
to it. When we have these sites that aren't election day sites and that's why we open up the
Mhm.
first week, because the second week we either need the equipment somewhere else. And it makes it more difficult on our teams for the moving pieces of it. So that's why I've suggested just this first week for Christian church or
Christchurch.
church. Yep. And then Elkins, which is our full 2 weeks open at Elkins. You'll see in 2022, they did 1,231 voters for the full 2 weeks. For the general 2024, they did 2,451. We had them closed for both Saturdays for the primary.
Mm.
So I do have them closed for both Saturdays. That's a question if the commission wants to maybe open it up the first Saturday. There's not a lot of voters that come out. 2022. In 2022, they had 50 voters come out on Saturday.
Mm.
So that's,
Yeah, I tend to think Saturdays are not that productive.
they're not. We really thought once we started opening up early vote that Saturdays would be our big days, but
Right.
they're
Yeah,
really not. We still have some places open on Saturday, but yeah.
Now, have all these places been reserved for those 2
Yes.
weeks just to?
Yes. Now Christchurch will have to go back to them. They did put out an email to us, the other day wanting to see if we wanted 1 week or 2
oh,
weeks.
good.
So they're open to the idea of us being.
They're open to
Okay,
the idea of
That's
it.
always nice.
Yeah.
When they're contacting us rather than chasing them
Yeah.
down.
Not like you're having to sit out in the parking lot or
Right,
something.
right.
Oh, my.
So that would be Elkins, and the one difference between 2024 and 2026 for Elkins, I would say would be to close the Saturday early vote, for both Saturdays.
I would concur there. You've got 4 and 9 on
So,
Wednesday and Thursday.
so this is Elmdale. So Elmdale, other than the courthouse, is our second busiest early vote location.
Right.
You can see in 2024, it did 7,000
Mhm.
voters in the 2 weeks. And in 2022, it did 6,197. Okay. Elmdale itself is a very, very busy church.
Yeah.
We will not be able to be in the gymnasium for early vote. They just have so many activities, so many different things that they have us in that smaller sanctuary, which is fine. We'll be able to,
We can do that.
we can do that. it will be a little tight. Election day, we will move back out to the gymnasium. One of the things that we have been running into with Elmdale is they have church services on Wednesday night, which means we have to close at 4 and then move everything out
Yeah,
and then come back and reset that evening. It is really, our crews are just going 90 to nothing
oh, man.
because we don't know when church services is going to be over. So they're just kind of waiting
Just hang
around.
out,
It could
right.
be 8 o'clock. It could be
Oh,
6 o'clock. It could be 9 o'clock. One of the thoughts I had, and this is just a suggestion, is that on those 2 Thursdays that we open at 9 instead of 8, to give our teams time to
time
go
to
back and
reset.
reset and not have to hang out
yeah,
Wednesday night trying to think about when will church services be over.
okay.
Just a suggestion. We will make it work, being there that night, but this was just a way to kind of alleviate some of that stress on the teams.
Okay.
I know you have the numbers for the polling locations, but do we get a lot of early voters or like, do we know about when people start coming in during the day?
So, I haven't looked at the hourly one, but, I wouldn't think, other than the courthouse,
Mm-hmm.
usually Thursdays are not a busy day
Okay.
to begin with, and I wouldn't think it would be more than 25 to 30 voters between 8 and 9, possibly,
Yeah.
so yeah. This is just, like I said,
Mhm.
just a suggestion, but that's why the 4 and the 9 o'clock is
Okay,
there.
can you give us a Saturday on both of, on Elmdale?
So
Can you give us
Elmdale is both Saturdays.
So can you give us numbers on those? Do those actually seem
Yes.
good?
Yes, and that
Okay.
would be our location open in the Springdale area.
Yeah,
For Elmdale. So, Elmdale Saturdays are 235 in 2022 and 690 or,
Wow.
yeah, I think that first Saturday in 2024, then we may not have been able to be open there, because I don't have numbers in there. Sometimes they have conflicts.
yeah,
So, but yes, if you see in 2020, we had 695. So their Saturdays are good.
yeah.
Are
So
good
we
numbers.
need to hang in with
Yes.
them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We would
Okay.
want to, because if we consolidate and close down all of our other places, this gives voters on Saturday in Springdale area a place to vote.
Okay.
Now, the one thing we will run into with the second Saturday for this year, it is Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And that may impact voter turnout too, because with it being on Saturday, that's so more people will be having activities.
right.
We have already started asking the churches, what are your plans for the Saturdays?
For the Saturday.
So,
And not even that, I know that some community centers, just for rain purposes, will move everything indoors.
Yes.
That's the reason why I wanted to make sure that we had all these places reserved, because
Yeah.
it is Halloween.
it is, but we also, even though we have it reserved, one of the
Yeah.
things is we don't pay them money.
Right,
And so we have to, like for us, tearing down and then setting back up, those are compromises that we make to be able to use the facility. So for instance, out in Lincoln,
Mhm.
Lincoln doesn't plan to use the community center for Halloween, but if the weather is bad, they will, which means we'll have to move our equipment. But
Mhm.
we've already been talking about those different kind of aspects.
okay.
Any questions for Elmdale?
No,
Okay.
I'm interested in the blue.
Okay. Oh, so Farmington. Okay. My initial plan was to only have Farmington open for the first week or for the second week of early vote. It is an election day site, which means that it stuff gets to stay set up. My supervisor out at, Farmington, she really thinks that Farmington would benefit, and I don't necessarily disagree with her with it being open for the 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So that's why it's in blue, just because
Oh,
it's a
gotcha.
special note, that, we may want to open it for the 2 weeks, the Tuesday through Friday for
Mhm.
the 2 weeks. And part of the reason some of these we don't open on Mondays is because they have church services and it lets us go in and actually set them up. That's why we open them up on Tuesdays.
And that's the only site in Farmington, right?
Yes, it is
Okay.
the only site in Farmington. And if you'll see.
They did well.
They
Mhm.
did in 2024. That was the first time they had been open. They did 3,176 for the general election. So I think their numbers will go.
I do
And
too.
we think their mayor is not running for election again. So I
Mhm.
think they're going to have a contested mayor's race. They have a contested JP race in that area.
Mhm.
So, you know, there definitely will be interest
Mm,
in that area. And it is one of our growing areas. of the
right,
county.
yeah.
Um, so that's why it's in blue is,
Okay.
the possibility of opening it for the 2 weeks.
It wasn't open last time except the second week.
It was
But-
open for 2 weeks for the general.
Oh, okay.
2024, we did have it open for 2 weeks. But for the primary this year, we only had it open.
Oh, I see. These are notes for what possibly, let's see. I don't know. I'm a little confused by the second column or the third column. Because you've got second week and then,
So I don't have a mark there, Mike. Would we open it for the first week or have it open for the second week?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I put in the dates if we have it open the first week, so you would just see what those would be.
Okay.
No, I think with the JP being contested and then there's obviously
Yeah.
some discussion about there. I think the smaller towns are really more invested.
Mhm.
And then that's the thing that brings them out. And they're like, oh yeah, all these other things that I get
Yeah.
to vote on.
Yeah.
But the main thing that they really want to have a say in is who their mayor is and
Yeah.
who their JP is. So I think I like that idea of having it 2 weeks if you have the staff and they're willing to.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I know we're not voting it, but that would be,
yeah, I'll
Sounds like a
reach
good
back
idea.
out and confirm that, we can be in that site for the Tuesday through Friday for the 2 weeks.
Okay.
Um,
do you think that would benefit from a Saturday or no?
No, I don't think so. Because we can talk about, Weddington, about it being open on Saturday. So, yeah.
Okay.
I almost feel like if we're going to like close Elkins on Saturday, I almost feel like we should close West Work Parade, you know, like
Mhm.
the kind of
Consecutive.
consistent,
Okay.
the messaging, but yeah. The next one is the Fayetteville Public Library. This is, I mean, our numbers are really good. Normally for the Fayetteville Library, we like to be open the first week because it's not a site that stays open for election day, but their availability was only for the second week. But they
Gotcha.
do such good numbers that we will juggle and make
Mhm.
that work. Because you
Alrighty.
see, they did 1,824 in
Mhm.
just 3 days
Yeah.
for the
Mhm.
general in 2024, 797 in 3 days for 2022. So they would be open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We would close Friday at 4. That's because the library closes at 5.
Mhm.
That lets us go ahead and close within the hours of the
Okay.
library.
What other races do they have in Fayetteville?
So Fayetteville will have municipal races.
Mhm.
Be judicial runoff, I think.
That, yes, I agree. That one
Mhm.
will draw. I don't know if any of their JPs Not very many of the JPs are contested in
Mhm.
Fayetteville.
Mhm.
I do know that their city attorney race is definitely
yeah.
one. I do
Mhm.
also know that their city council races, a couple of people have already declared they're not going to run again, which means
Oh,
that seat
okay.
is opened up. And then, of course, with all of the stuff about their planning and different things that are happening at the city level, I think their city council seats will
Mm.
be
Gotcha.
of an
Okay.
interest. So, yeah.
I know it's probably more of a strain to have it the second week. But if we can make that a priority for Fayetteville, I think
Oh.
it's absolutely necessary for.
I agree. We love being in the Fayetteville Public Library. They're a great location. It's great for us. So yes, we're fully committed to being there that second week.
Where is it in the library?
It is when you first walk in at that main desk, and if you know where the it's to the right.
Mhm.
It's across from where they have the library book store where you can
Okay.
buy
Yeah.
books. They've got a great little place for us in
Okay.
there. So yeah, it's completely, that's the other thing about it too, is it's completely secured for us. There's just the one entrance. So it's locked up after we leave. So no one else has access to it. It's not in an open area or anything like that. Um, Lincoln Community Center, it's always this last week, Thursday and Friday. We did open it up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for the presidential year, but I think for the 2026, I think Thursday and Friday would be good.
Adequate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their JP has been decided. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Everything has been decided. And then, medical arts pharmacy, it is, a 2 week. It's always Monday through Friday. We're not ever in there on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Their hours are limited on Saturday anyway, of the facility itself. So it is just Monday through Friday. And for the primary election, was our second busiest site over.
Yeah.
I mean, it did really, really good numbers, and it continues to do really good
Mhm.
numbers. Nazarene in Springdale, this is the First Church of the Nazarene. My suggestion would be for the second week to be open Tuesday through Friday. And if you'll see in 2024, they did 2,466, but that was over a 2 week period.
Oh. Mm.
But I think.
Is that why you've got it in blue?
Yes, because that is a decision, if we want to look into having it open for the 2 weeks, that's definitely something we can look at. I just don't know what the voter turn,
It's worth it. Yeah.
if it's
Mhm.
worth it, because we will also have, the senior center open. We'll have the
Right.
Springdale Library open, so there are
Right.
other, but that's why I have it in blue. It's just
Okay.
I think the fall is so hard to plan because you've got all the holidays, you've got weather, you don't know if it's going to be nice winter or blazing hot out.
yeah.
We just don't know.
And early vote our numbers could totally surprise us.
Mhm.
For non-presidential years, our early vote numbers run at 50% of the overall voter turnout. For presidential years, our early vote numbers run for 74% of overall voter turnout. So there is a difference
Yeah.
in the amount of votes, early votes, but we could be surprised, and have a higher early vote turnout. Prairie Grove, that is one of our 2 week locations, and once again, I have it possibly closed on both Saturdays. The courthouse, that is our one location that we are required to have
Mhm.
open for the full 2 weeks, both Saturdays and the Monday before.
Mhm.
There's no,
Easy decision there.
yeah, there's no, and we will be back
I was
in the
gonna say.
courtroom. Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, good.
yes. We would not be able
Oh my
to
gosh.
do it in the county clerk's office again.
Yeah.
Because if you see those numbers, 15,477, 10,676, it is our number one
Right.
early vote location. So yeah. Rise Physical Therapy. It is our location that is open next to the Walmart, neighborhood
Neighborhood
market
market,
over there on Crossover. The only days they have available for us are Friday and Saturday. But if you look at those numbers in those 2 days that we do, it's worth it to have it open, I believe. It gives
That's
those,
kind of a walking area, isn't it?
it is a little bit, but mostly I think
Mhm.
we get voters from that side of town because there
Okay.
isn't any early vote on that side of town. And you get voters who are just going into Walmart.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
Yeah, let's
I'm
go
gonna
vote.
yeah.
Right.
We could have locations next to all the Walmarts. A lot of. So, yeah.
You just have to be careful about the signs, right? Is that when we put
So-
out, remind me.
So yes, there are several locations now that no longer want signage placed.
Oh.
Rise Physical
Mhm.
Therapy, it's not Rise, it's the management of the complex.
Okay.
They don't want,
Any
campaign
vote
signs.
here or
Vote
anything?
here is fine.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the campaign signs. So
Gotcha.
they don't want campaign signs on their property. So, yeah,
Okay.
so.
It's only for 2 days, because we've been open there 2 days in the past,
Yes.
and that's the number.
Yes.
And that's really good.
I know. So they're one that approached us during COVID
Oh, yeah.
to say, hey, because they knew,
Mhm.
they weren't able to have people come in. They knew they had a great location. And so during COVID, we were able to be open more days.
Mhm.
But now that they're back in full swing
Oh.
and they have a huge clientele, they shut down their business, part of their business, to allow us to be in
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
which is really nice.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're still willing
Mhm.
to do that, and we get a good voter turnout.
We get it
Yeah.
for 2
Or-
days.
yeah.
I think
For-
it's,
So,
I think it's right on the mark. People are going to do some errands, and you don't have to repark your car. You can just walk
right.
right there. It's
Yeah.
right next door.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Sonora, would be Thursday and Friday. It is one that is open also on election day, but we did have it open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for 2024. But typically in previous years, we've only had it open Thursday and Friday. And I feel like possibly that Wednesday, they may be doing their Halloween event.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So yeah,
Because some churches are doing it on Halloween and some churches are doing the weekend before.
yeah,
So that, yeah, the last 2 weeks are crazy busy.
yes. And then Springdale Public Library, this would be open the second week. And then, of course, it stays open for election day. I think it is going to end up being a really good alternative for us, especially Elmdale will start to get a little limited for us space-wise.
Right.
Springdale Library is not that far from Elmdale.
No.
And they're so happy that we're there. They've got that nice space for us now. It is really a wonderful place for us. So they would be open the last week.
And then stay open.
They
Or
won't stay
there.
open, but they stay up. Yeah.
Stay up.
Election day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Springdale Senior Center, this would be open the first week. And I have it closing at 3 on Friday. I need to ask them about their hours. They close early on Fridays.
Oh.
So I need
Yeah.
to figure out about that closure, because our first time being in there was this year, and we closed early on Friday because they had an event, so it didn't interfere with anything. But we might close it at 3 because their hours of operation. And then Tawnytown City Hall, that is a 2-week location for us. Same thing that we have with Elmdale. They have their city council meeting
Right.
And there, I think, planning meetings on Tuesday. So we close at 4. Then I have tentatively made the suggestion that we open back up
At 9.
at 9 on Wednesday. Now,
Okay.
there is talk of where the old fire station was, that they're turning that into a community center for the city of Town.
Oh,
And there has been talk
how
that it
soon?
might be ready in time for us to
Okay.
be in there,
Yeah.
but I don't know. And so, so if that would be the case, then we would just be open. We wouldn't have to close
Okay.
early. We
Oh,
wouldn't have
that'd
to
be
move.
good.
And it would
Mhm.
be, but this may be the last year we have to do the close early
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and all of that, if they get that,
Okay.
that built. So, and the plans we've seen for it looks really nice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it's just a question of when
Mm.
they will have it built.
And you've got, Saturdays
I've
in
got
yellow.
Saturdays closed. Now, in, previous years, we have been open on the 2 Saturdays in Town. But, I feel like with having Elmdale open, I don't know that we need to be open in Town, on the 2 Saturdays.
Do the numbers
Um,
compare favorably or not?
so
The other thing we're competing with is Halloween.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
well,
And that's
good point.
kind of what
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
too, is that they did 109 in 2022.
On both Saturdays or?
On the first Saturday, and then the second Saturday, they did 201.
Oh, they doubled it, but or almost doubled it.
So
But it is Halloween.
it is. So just a suggestion,
Yeah, to
maybe we're
close
open
it.
the first Saturday and not open the second Saturday.
Yeah.
So. Then, the U of A, the Alumni Center would be where we would be at. This would be the first week, and it would be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay.
The second week, well, it's not an election day site, but the second week, there's a home game. So
Oh,
it
no
makes
way.
it
Yeah.
hard for us to be in there
Yeah.
the second week anyway. And then Weddington, that is Unity Church out past the Catfish Hole. That would be, a 2-week one. We have had it closed on the first Saturday because we had we had, and the courthouse, so Fayetteville had multiple places. Then opened the last Saturday.
Okay.
And then Westport Community Center, they would be a 2-week and closed both Saturdays. But these closures of Saturdays for the first week, that's something for the commission to think about. Having some of these sites open the second Saturday makes it more difficult on our teams when we
Oh,
have to
sure.
do the,
Yeah.
it's basically about the, pickup of the voting equipment and transferring it
Mhm.
over.
And the Halloween complication.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
The two that you see in red here, Civic Center and Walton Arts Center. Walton Arts Center availability for us was the same week as the Fayetteville Library.
Mhm.
In the past, we've been able to have them open the opposite weeks, and that works, but I don't think having them both open, I think
No.
you're pulling from the same group of people.
Right.
And so I think for 2026, not having the Walton Arts Center open, revisiting that for 2028 to
Mhm.
see if the timing works out better. And then the Civic Center, it is really hard for us to plan with the Civic Center,
Yeah.
especially with they're a business and
Right.
they have parties and they
Mhm.
have events and everything like that. So my suggestion, especially now that we have the Springdale Public
Mhm.
Library
Mhm.
and we have the
And the
Springdale
senior
Senior
center.
Center,
Yeah.
that the Civic Center may just go back to being just an election day site. and we not try and open it up for early vote because it is rather difficult for us
Yeah.
to do it. And it is never available for us close to the weekend. It's always in the middle of the week.
Oh,
When they-
Because they have events,
events,
and then what happens is we have to completely remove the equipment
Oh,
from the
yeah, yeah.
location and then take it back. So that, adds that extra.
No, I like the idea of having the Fayetteville Public Library over the Walton Art Center, only because there's more parking and I think it's just
Oh, good.
easier.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier. And
Yeah.
when they put that park in there across from the Walton Art Center, that changed a lot.
Yeah.
Where do I park and where do I go? And
And if they could have been opposite weeks,
absolutely.
but with them being the same
Mhm.
week, Fayetteville Library, we get more voters, than we do at the Walton Arts.
Yeah.
And a couple of our poll workers have gotten tickets, the city's been gracious though, and
Oh, boy.
taken care of, of course.
Not
but yeah.
tickets to a show.
No, no, for parking. So, yeah, so, that is also something to take in consideration. But this is something for the commission to look over, to review. These are just
Okay.
suggestions, obviously. But we will want to make decisions within the next, I would love for us to have decisions made before we meet to do the ballot draw.
Okay, what's our drop dead date?
So
on
our
that?
drop dead date for making decisions is September 4th.
Do you usually have big trucks coming through this parking lot?
Debbie, are you worried for your?
He's been sitting out there. He's been
Oh, has he?
for a while. He was sitting there when I pulled up, but
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no.
That kind of shocked
he
me.
does.
They're still working on the jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
Okay, pardon me, what did you say, September?
Fourth.
September 4th, that's
Yeah.
drop dead.
is our 60-day deadline.
Okay.
To make that decisions, but
that would make you nervous by that.
yes, and we want, the public to know, the
Mhm.
candidates to know. We also have to get teams together.
Mhm.
We have to make delivery schedules and all of that, so the earlier we make those decisions, but this is just our first look.
Okay,
Okay.
at
and you would
possibility.
like to have it addressed by,
I think that when Alexis brought up the meeting where we review the
Mhm.
candidate names, I think that would be a good time for us to make those
Okay.
decisions so that it's
Yeah.
made before we do the ballot draw.
okay,
And that's between August 5th and the 21st. So
Yeah,
it's
so we
right in
can
that sweet spot.
Yep, so we can set up an election commission date meeting
okay,
that time. So, yeah.
all right.
Okay, can I bother you for just a
Yeah.
minute? Okay, so I was kind of focusing on the Saturday voting
Mhm.
locations that will
Yep.
be open.
We just have it ready.
Okay, on that first Saturday, it looks like you got Elmdale
Mm-hmm.
Baptist, have the courthouse, force, and ice therapy.
Yes.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then on the second Saturday, you have Elmdale Baptist,
Mhm.
courthouse, and Weddington
Church, yeah.
Church. Okay. Is that kind of par for the course to give
So,
three locations open each Saturday?
uh,
Get a feel. for
yeah, so the first Saturday, we have done it differently. The first Saturday, we have sometimes had opened up Elkins, Prairie Grove, and West Fork.
this. Uh-huh.
And so those would be sites that we have had open in the past on the Saturdays.
Was it worth it?
So we would get 50 voters to 100 voters, and they're open
Okay.
from 10 to 4. So,
Yeah, okay.
and then the second Saturday, that is our day where we go and transfer everything from early vote to election day.
Okay.
So we've never had open as many sites the second Saturday as we have had open the first Saturday.
Okay.
Because we're basically, we have to go in and change out the equipment, in the sense that we make it election day information. We
Right.
pick up ballots, we do the whole chain of custody and all of that.
Have you noticed an uptick from the first Saturday to the second Saturday in the past?
Normally it is a little busier. Um,
I mean, 'cause by that time, everybody's being bombarded with information.
They are.
Vote, and I
Yes.
didn't know there, of all those millions of dollars of advertising and stuff. Yeah.
so, Saturdays are not as busy as
We had hoped.
we had hoped they
Yeah.
would be.
Okay.
So for instance, Elmdale had 559 the second Saturday, but they're open both Saturdays.
Yeah.
And they had 695 the first Saturday.
Okay.
So it kind of depends. And the courthouse, sometimes it depends on if there's a football game or that kind of thing. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And there's-
understand.
This past time, I think there was a rally that people actually, the state secretary's website showed the courthouse is open and we actually weren't because I got those phone calls.
Oh, they showed we were open
Open
on
to
Sunday.
Sunday.
They
Oh.
showed
Right,
It was open
yeah.
on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
website?
yes.
Yeah, so we don't have any control over that website,
Yeah.
even though what
Yeah.
we submitted was correct.
And this law does not allow
No.
early voting on
Right,
Sunday
right.
either. So yeah.
The other thing, again, it's Halloween that Saturday, so I think
Yeah.
even normally we would see lower numbers and then probably half that again with just
Okay.
people.
That's just curiosity. I'm
No.
not sticking out of me or anything. I was just wondering.
Yeah. I think that having the Saturday voting, like I said, we just have not seen as many
Mhm.
voters turn out on the Saturdays. Like we thought Saturdays would be our
Yeah.
busiest days, but normally it's our Fridays that
Yeah.
are busy, that Thursday and
I
Friday.
mean, there's so much early voting during the week, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Right. And I think Rise does so well is because it's literally right next to a
Yeah.
Walmart
Yes.
on a
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why they have great numbers for 2 days.
Yeah.
It's probably, I would suspect that their Saturdays are way busier than that Friday just because you have everybody going out and doing
Mhm.
normal errands.
Okay.
And again, like as Jennifer said, if we had all the voting sites near Walmarts, we would probably open it every Saturday.
Okay. Good. Thank
I
you.
was looking to see. So West Fork in 2022 did 51 on the Saturday it was open. And Prairie Grove did 132. And then, of course, I said Elkins did 50. So yeah,
It's more of a trickle
yeah.
for the most part than you would have
Yeah.
expected.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say those voters are not important, but they can find it.
Well, we just got to be smart with the resources that we do
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
And yeah,
Statistics.
Yeah, I mean, and when we get into Saturdays too, not this is always should be a no, but we run into overtime for our poll workers.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
some of them work 10-hour days, and so you've got
Right.
Monday through Friday, and then you add in the Saturday, so it's kind of what is our biggest bang for the buck,
Right,
basically.
right.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Where are we putting our
You don't want people
resources?
sitting there because nobody's showing up
Right.
either, or very few. Well, let's move along. You guys can mull over that and go on to election day.
Yeah. So election day. This is the turnout, by election day. The only suggestions I'm making for election day is, we closed Trinity Methodist for the primary election because it was under construction.
Right.
We also had to have it closed for the 2024 presidential election on election day. I would suggest we go ahead and make the closure of Trinity Methodist a permanent closure.
Yeah.
One, the teams, we barely had enough supervisors for the
Mhm.
primary election. And the only reason we did was because we took this Trinity Methodist crew and put them out at a civic center.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I already know that I have one supervisor who can't come back from the primary to the general, so I'm having to look for a new supervisor. If we open Trinity Methodist back up, that would mean another crew that we're having to look for.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion, is that Trinity Methodist becomes a permanent closure.
Okay.
And then Yvonne Richardson Center, we did not have it open at all in 2024, or we didn't have it open for the general. We didn't have it open for this year. My suggestion would be to make that a permanent closure as well. And you can see that Trinity Methodist area and Yvonne Richardson Center, those are both areas where we're losing voters in the sense that there's not as many registered voters in those areas, as opposed to some of our other locations.
Okay.
That would be, other than that, we would keep everything the same as what we had from the primary, which is essentially was, we also had Trinity Methodist and Yvonne Richardson Center closed as well.
Okay.
Election day is a little bit easier, not as many, changes or things to go over.
Well, the Yvonne Richardson Center was so close to the Unity Church, right?
Genesis.
Genesis, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and its parking has changed and
Mhm.
there's have been a lot of changes. So I really think just keeping those voters at Genesis still serves the public in that area. Trinity Methodist, I think, those voters went to Sang to vote.
Mhm.
So I think that they're served there, but also for those voters on Trinity Methodist, we now have a polling location that's a little bit closer. When we had to replace Mount Comfort, we replaced it with that church right off of Dean Solomon,
Mhm.
right there. Not Dean Solomon. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is Dean
Mhm.
Solomon. So even for those voters, it is a little bit closer
Yeah.
than going all the way down to Mount
Mm-hmm.
Comfort. So not a lot of changes for
So remind me again, on that side of Weddington, we have what voting centers?
so on Weddington, we have Covenant.
Mhm.
And then on Mount Comfort, we have the Fayetteville Christian Church.
Church of Christ.
Yeah,
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
okay, so we have something on both sides.
yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and you can see the voter turnout from the previous years for each of our locations.
So with this many, do you have enough staff and supervisors and?
Right now, I only know of one polling place where I need to replace a supervisor.
Oh,
They've got a
okay.
full-time job, so they're not going to be able to. But yeah, so, and he was really good. He was a new supervisor and a new supervisor at that location, and the teams loved him.
Oh.
But he needed a full-time job. He's
Yeah.
not retired. So we'll be looking for a full-time supervisor for that location. But yes, as far as I know, we have enough staff and enough resources for having the 40 locations open that I have suggested. So the only one that causes us just a little bit of concern is not concern in the sense of not being a good staff, because we have a really good staff, is our new Mount Comfort location is so much smaller
Oh, is
than
it?
our old Mount Comfort location. And where in the past we've been able to have 12 to 15 machines, we're going to be lucky if we get 8 machines in there. So that is a
okay.
little bit of a concern for us for that area, especially if you've driven on Mount
Mhm.
Comfort.
Yeah.
All of that construction, all
Mhm.
of that new apartment complex.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's so much going in. Now, we have heard in that apartment complex area that there's supposed to be a community center.
Interesting, okay.
Maybe there will be. It's nowhere near
Yeah.
Completion, okay.
completion. That's the only, we're fortunate though that we found a place on that coast.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we're gonna make it work. But we want to recognize though that they will have fewer machines than they've had in the past.
Is there a way to suggest to people at locations like that where we're actually reducing the machine count? You could go to an alternative here or there or whatever.
I think before the election, we could put out that
Mhm.
information.
Yeah.
Hey, these are some sites,
Mhm.
this is how much equipment. I would hate for us to do it on election
Right,
day,
right.
because then it might be, they're thinking we're suggesting that they
It gets
leave.
confusing.
Right.
Certainly before the election, we can kind of put this, I can make this information more public. You know, hey, here's the voter turnout at this location. This is
Mhm.
where we anticipate lines.
Mhm.
Because when
a
you've
lot of
got a
times-
huge new group of people there, well, I mean, you just time it right, but still it could especially during like that after work hours, you get a crush
Yeah.
and people don't want to stay for that.
So we definitely, I can make this information more public
Yeah.
before election day. And still, we have operated vote centers since 2016.
True.
Mhm.
But still, there are so many
Oh.
voters who don't realize
Mhm.
you can go to anywhere and vote.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a lot of times people will say, I just ran in, Ridgeview is an example of a
Oh.
Fayetteville site that is hardly ever busy.
Mhm.
And you can get in and out of there so quickly versus if you
Mhm.
went to Central and you're gonna wait, you know, you could just drive just a little bit further down the road.
Right.
And Ridgeview is there and
Yeah.
you get in and out pretty quickly there at Ridgeview. So we can kind of work on how we want to kind of.
Well, I'm thinking
that.
even like on the Facebook
Mhm.
thing, you know, say, hey, this is a good deal. If you want to get in and out quickly, you might go here.
Yeah, and now Ridgeview will be. How long at Ridgeview?
You can blame her.
But.
I'll take it.
It is true. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. There are a lot of.
I mean, maybe just reminding people,
Mhm.
look, you can vote
Right.
anywhere in the
Mhm.
county.
No.
Or take advantage of early vote.
Yeah, or
I mean,
early
there's So
vote.
many opportunities for early vote.
Yeah.
Early vote, generally you get in and out fairly quickly, so yeah.
Right.
And maybe make a post about the Saturday voting, like these are your 3 places you can vote here
Yeah.
on Saturday,
Yeah.
here are the
Right.
hours.
So we, I felt like we got a lot of good views on our, because every day we put out which sites
Right.
were open. But I noticed one of the posts that we got a lot of views on, we went ahead and put out, these are the sites that were closed. Because even though we've talked
yeah.
about it here, it's
Mhm.
in the notice of election,
Mhm.
people don't see.
They
don't read- see
work
the
out of
post.
habit.
Exactly. And so we got a lot of views and a lot of reposts
Yeah.
on the sites that we closed, and we'll continue to do that
Yeah.
too. But yeah,
Okay.
Do the broadcast stations, they work with you guys do well?
yes.
You trying to get, what I'm thinking is, one thing that's changed is they all have these podcast things going on.
Right.
Streaming and all of this.
Time to
Other
do a
stuff.
podcast.
Well,
Add that to your
there-
list.
There's a way to, if there's a way to get it in their daily feed or whatever. Times, even on the crawler or something, you know.
Yeah.
Just to remind people that, you know, it's early voting and these are the places that are open.
They are really good to come and interview us. They're also really good to link our page
Yeah.
to,
So they're good.
to their
Yeah.
information. In fact,
Good.
I'm doing an interview this afternoon with KUAF.
Okay.
So the radio stations are really good to even do it. So yeah, so we do as much promotion
Yeah.
as we can. And the difference between a primary and a general, the primary doesn't get as much.
Yeah.
But the general, you'll see, they'll do a
Mhm.
lot more stories.
And it's interesting too, because when you did the last children's library, there was a lot of questions from the parents and the other adults in the room just about general questions. So even though it was a program geared towards children,
Yeah.
and the children had some really good questions too. But the adults were the ones like, okay, now where can I vote again? And like, who's up for election? And when can I need to do this? There's always those, and invites an open discussion.
Okay.
So it looks like on Farmington and Goshen Fire, you're reducing express votes. Is that what that is?
So
Marked it.
Farmington, so Farmington is a reduction because we cannot physically get them in there uh, get them 6 feet apart.
Mhm.
That is a law we have got to work on changing. That law was put in place when we had the old Ivotronics and the privacy screens
Mhm.
weren't as great. It needs to
Mhm.
be changed. So Farmington, in order for us to meet the legal standards, we will need to just have 8 machines. But Goshen Fire, that one is marked because we're actually going up. That one.
Oh,
will go
okay,
up to
that's going
7.
up. Okay.
Yeah, they have a little bit more space in there. We think we can get 7 in there.
And you've got Genesis poll, is that Genesis? Yeah, poll books. Are you reducing
We're
or
adding a
adding?
poll book.
Okay.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
So, we have plenty of voting equipment. That is not the
That was
issue.
my next question.
We have plenty of voting equipment. It's the space
Yeah.
inside the facility and,
Mhm.
and what we're working with on how to get it laid out. Good rule of thumb that we work with is for every 100 votes that are cast, we need 1 express vote.
Mm,
So, so that's why I've made note at Farmington. They've got 8. In 2026, they did 990. So that means they'll have a little bit of a line. In 2022, they did 1581, but we didn't have early voting in Farmington.
oh,
So early voting helps us on election day.
Mhm.
If you'll notice that, when we get to 2024, it drops down to 1050. And that's because we had early voting in Farmington.
Yeah.
So, that's sometimes too why we look at different early vote locations is to alleviate the lines on election day.
okay. Any other questions on that?
Good stuff.
And you'll see at the bottom of this page where I show you the breakdown.
Yeah.
The early vote in 2024 was 73% of the overall voter turnout. But when you look at 2022, it's 52%. And if you look at 2018, it's 54%.
Mm.
So there is a difference. So that's the only reason I've kind of looked at some of our early vote locations to say, do we need to be opened, is because I'm looking at these statistics.
So the general turnout, Washington County, 24 was 73%. Is not reading that right.
It was 67% overall
67.
voter turnout.
Overall,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, but our
The early vote
early vote
election
accounted
day.
for 73% of the turnout.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And that's how when I approach these, that's how I
You're
approach
thinking in
it.
in those
Yeah.
terms. Let's see, we're looking at C, absentee ballot canvassing day.
This is one of the things, that I visited with our canvassing team actually during the primary election. We can start canvassing the, Tuesday before the election. But what ends up happening, we say we're gonna canvass Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we only have 20 ballots to
Mhm.
canvass, or we only have 10 ballots to canvass. And so like I bring this whole team in and they come in for an hour and I feel bad because I feel like we're not utilizing
They're
their
geared up
time.
for something that doesn't
Exactly.
happen.
So I visited with the team, this, primary election. Now granted, we'll have 3 times the amount of absentees that we had, from the primary to the general, but still taking that into account, I think the general consensus was that instead of us starting on the Tuesday before the election, we actually start on the Thursday. And then that gives us Thursday and Friday to just get
Kill it.
that big giant bulk of them done.
Yeah.
And then Monday follow up, and then of course Tuesday. So that's one of the reasons I've kind of wanted to bring this to your attention is that, my recommendation will be that we start on Thursday and not on Tuesday.
Well, I mean, unless we, God forbid, have a COVID
So, yes,
Freaky.
that.
yeah.
I know. Just
So,
wash my mouth out with soap here.
so
Some hand sanitizer.
2,000 we can handle in the,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
3 day.
What'd we do?
12,000.
Yes.
We would start on Tuesday, but yeah, so my suggestion will be really that we start that Thursday, and
Right.
that was kind of the team's consensus too. They would rather work a full day
Absolutely.
than come in just for a
An
couple of
hour.
hours.
Sure, that makes it.
Yeah.
And they're mailed back, I guess, to the clerk's
Yes,
office.
yes.
Yeah.
And we have a chain of custody where we pick those up.
Yeah.
We, when we go and pick those up, she has ballot boxes, and when that ballot box gets full, then she'll start a new one. But she runs a roster that tells us which ones are in there. We
Right.
count before we even leave the clerk's office,
Okay.
to verify that her roster matches our count. And then two people go and count, and 2 people bring it back. And so, yeah, we've
Okay.
got a verification process for that.
Okay.
And remind me, is this the part where one of us has to be there?
No, so
Okay.
that will be for the remakes.
Remakes, okay, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
Which
So,
will be Wednesday
Yep.
after the election.
but that's just for absentee canvassing. That my thought process was for us to start Thursday instead
Yeah.
of Tuesday.
I like that.
So,
So
Okay.
do you need approval on this to post or?
this will be part of the notice of election.
Okay.
That the election commission will sign. I've just started preliminary working on this.
Okay.
But yes, this would be in the notice when you all sign it.
Okay.
And then we start at 9 and close at 4. That lets us
Mhm.
pick up anything that we need to. So yeah.
So on election day, we need this.
That's the next,
Oh, okay.
yep, that would be the next time. I think 6 PM on election day is good, is enough time for the election commission to meet, to review any
Right.
absentee ballots where there are questions about signatures or anything like that,
Okay.
for the commission to review. So
All
if
right.
6 o'clock sounds good for the commission, then we'll leave
Yeah.
that in there for election night.
It gives us time to review anything that's happened,
Yes.
anything that you think is
Yes.
critical to know. Election night, let's see, absent election night, we have nothing.
No, because it was really just is 6 o'clock sufficient?
Okay, okay.
Do we think 6 o'clock is, I believe 6 o'clock is
It's
sufficient.
plenty,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because 7:30 is when the polls close. They want us to release early vote numbers,
Like 7:31.
but if we think there's lines and we can't
Yeah,
have tapes until
right.
7:30, so that gives us an hour and a half to review any
Sure.
absentee ballots
Mhm.
that there might be issues
Okay.
on. So, yeah. So,
Okay. E is ballot remake dates and times.
so I went ahead and printed out this whole big document, which is voter intent and ballot remakes.
Okay.
The one, this kind of shows when the commission is having to review a ballot, kind of the parameters, you
Mhm.
know. If you look on page 5 of the document, it shows that clearly if someone's got 2 check marks in the commission, we can't count that.
Right,
But if you look down at that attorney general, they've marked out 3 people and left Lucille Ball, which would mean we could count Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
So this is just put together from the State Board of Election Commissioners. So if there's questions about remakes.
right.
This is basically our
What
guide,
we use.
right?
Hmm.
And so that's
Do we have Chris Madison on tape to tell us how it's?
to go through this.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing I've highlighted and marked in here was when we can start doing remakes. We will not be able to start remakes until Wednesday. So for the general election, we'll probably have over 200 ballots that are needed to be remade.
Yeah,
Those are the Yokava ballots.
right.
But we can't do those election night or election day. We'll have to wait and do those on the Wednesday afterwards, and I have us starting at 10, and that's where I need one commissioner
Okay,
who's willing to just come and oversee
yeah.
the remake process
Okay.
and sign off on that.
Okay, yeah.
There's, yeah,
There's a whole test on it.
there, yeah. there it is.
Depending on how you do on that.
Keep these notes forever.
Oh, my gosh.
But it is handy. I mean, you know.
We
it's-
need that
Yeah.
because it's,
Mhm.
it's hard to remember all of it. There's so many little.
Um, F, which is provisional dates and times. If the commission agrees to these dates, which I've sent you oh, and I've spelled November wrong.
I know.
Hello.
Renee will catch it.
I caught it as soon as I looked, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not how you spell November. Okay.
It's a good try.
It was, wasn't it? And when you type it in all caps, spell check doesn't
Yeah.
catch it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that-
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't use spell.
So this letter is included in the provisional ballot packet. So the reason I bring this to the commission's attention is because we prepare these packets starting this summer. Will be our summer project. But in order to prepare the packet, I need to know that Thursday, November 12th at 9 a.m. is a good date for the commission to meet. I've given that date to you guys before.
Yeah.
That lets us go ahead and print out the letters with November spelled correctly and go ahead and get all those packets made. We also will go ahead and make packets for the runoff election.
Okay.
Same thing, it would be Thursday, the second week, December 10th at 9 a.m. And that will let us go ahead and start this process for
Okay.
us. But the poll workers are required to give this letter to every voter that votes a provisional ballot.
Mhm.
Okay.
It has the information on it of when the commission meets to have a hearing on whether if they can present evidence for it to
And about how many would you expect?
so 900 is what we've had in 2024. So it is a lot. Now, some of those will go away because of the new rule that allows a county to county transfer on election day. About 150 of those were people who had moved to Washington County, but hadn't transferred their voter registration from another one. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
So do you need approval on these dates today
If the
or how soon?
commission- Yeah, if at least for the first one, for
Okay.
that November the 12th, the commission, if your calendars work for that, we'll start on getting these letters printed and our packets made. And I will make sure November is spelled correctly on those.
Nothing happens in November. Should be fine.
I think that's fine. Wait, December. Okay. That is.
You're not worried about the December 10th yet.
No, but that's a normal one for us
Okay.
too. So, yeah. So
When do you need a decision on December?
if everybody can look at their calendars and when we come back on June 16th.
Okay.
If you can just
Okay,
have looked at your
that's a good
calendars
idea.
to see if that one works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, certification dates.
And then, so these are all together, all the
Mhm.
dates for the commission to meet.
And we have one down.
Yes. We've got the.
Just about.
Welcome, Matt.
Always good.
So,
Plus we need to add one.
yes, we will need to add one in here. The certification will be Friday, November the 13th. I believe we'll have to do it after 5 or at 5:30.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
Friday the 13th?
I know, again, yes. We did it last time too. Normally, we would have been able to certify the following Monday, but that state bond issue that is on the ballot in the document calling for the election has a 10-day certification deadline instead of 15, which is everything else is 15. Because it's a state thing, we just have to certify
no.
everything on the 10-day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
That'll be 5:30. And then I went ahead, just so you can start looking at your calendar. These are the dates for the runoff election when the election commission would need to meet.
Okay.
Those are for you to look to see what your calendar, if those.
For election day, do we want to do 7 or 6 p.m.?
So on the runoff election, we won't have as many absentee ballots. So I think for the commission to come in at 7 for the runoff, is plenty of
Okay.
time. So yeah, because we won't know what the runoff looks like until after
Okay.
filing's over. It might just be one city.
Oh,
You know, it
yeah.
might just be
Mhm.
JP 15. So that would greatly narrow down the number of absentee ballots that we have.
Okay. These look good to me. Thanksgiving's on the 26th, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Now, we will have early voting on the Friday after.
Oh,
That law has not changed. And so
Yeah.
we will be early
Oh,
voting
boy.
the day after Thanksgiving. So.
Okay. Moving right along.
June 26th, you have 2 p.m. Is that supposed to be 9 a.m. or did I have it wrong somewhere?
So, I'm glad you pointed that out. So that is, when we're going to announce the winner of the I
Right.
voted sticker.
Right.
I was thinking 2 p.m. might be, especially if parents and kids come, it might be easier
Mm.
for them to come at 2 rather than at 9.
Yeah.
But that's if that works for the commission. I know we hadn't really talked about a time frame for that one. That was just my thought process.
Okay. It works. Friday, I mean, I'd much rather it be Friday at 2 than Friday at 5:30.
Yes, yes. So, but yeah, I was thinking that way, you know, if we do get kids to come, and that gives us a little bit of time because
Mhm.
to make certificates or to, you know, to kind of
Yeah.
get something a
Prepare
little
for
maybe festive ready, you know, to
Okay.
announce the winner. So yeah,
Okay.
that was my.
All right. Will we be able to set up the machines to do like a mock?
So we are going to do that on, we can certainly, but on June the 18th,
Mhm.
we will have the I voted sticker early vote in-person voting here. But we can set up the dinosaur.
Okay. Well,
Election.
yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
We can set up the dinosaur election. So,
Can we invite the previous winner from the sticker
oh,
contest?
yeah, I can, yeah.
Just to kind of thoughts.
Was she disqualified from this?
You know, I don't know that we put that
Yeah.
in there. I don't think we did.
Because we
So
won't
she
know.
might end up
That's true.
being a contestant again.
Yeah,
Because we won't know who's
Have you
attached
seen
to.
all of that?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Oh, you know, we don't think we set that as a parameter.
Okay.
So,
So
yeah,
she could very well be
yeah,
the winner again.
Yeah. I don't think we should, I mean, I don't think that should.
No,
qualify
I don't
her,
either.
think.
And when the commission reviews the stickers, you'll review them blind. There won't
Right,
be names
right.
attached
There's
to
no
them.
names.
But let's say if she doesn't, I would like to have that going forward,
no, I
whoever the
agree.
winner is,
Right, right.
to make sure that they get a personal invitation.
Yeah.
Or something.
No, we can definitely do that.
Because they could have moved or they could have, like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they voted in the primary election, because they came in early
Oh.
voted and the parents came in and early voted and, you know, and they were talking about, hey, my daughter, you know, so they made note of that
Yeah.
when they came. So I know they're still here because they did come in and vote.
Okay. What else? Instant runoff ballots.
So this gets to the runoff election and we kind of do the runoff election while we're coordinating the regular election. So instant runoff ballots, those will be the ballots that we create.
Those are
These-
just for overseas.
Yep, for overseas. We know these will all be remakes because they're just created to
Yeah.
go out. So for the instant runoff ballot, it will include US Senate and US Congress. Now, the only reason this would go to a runoff election if you had a tie between the top two. Normally, it's winner takes all, but if there's a tie, it will actually go to a runoff election, which is why we include
Okay.
it in the instant runoff ballot.
Okay.
Statistically, that's probably
gonna
not going to happen.
Yeah.
Governor and Secretary of State, this tie is determined by the state legislature. So they won't go on the instant runoff ballot. Even though there are 2 or 3 candidates there. And then Justice of the Peace, 15 has 3 people, so that will go on the instant runoff ballot in those precincts.
Okay.
And then, of course, any municipal races
Right.
that we have.
We need to update that name. For the,
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah. I've got to go back and find that information.
I
But
just
yeah,
thought about
Becky-
that.
Yeah, Becky sent that to me.
How does that work for the JP?
So for the JP race, this is just the absentee ballot that is mailed to someone overseas.
Yeah,
So they receive this ballot with their regular ballot, and what they do is they vote it, and basically, this is the only time we have ranked choice voting.
okay,
They'll return back a ballot that says 1, 2, 3 on it, and whoever makes it into the runoff, that's how we determine which
Okay.
their ranked choice
Okay.
is. But yes, and then, of course, any municipals
Okay.
that we have,
Mhm.
but I don't know those yet. So,
I
yeah.
think that's the only instance where we had somebody drop out of a race because they moved. But there's no other candidates. We have to change names. right?
No, I think it's just
Okay.
that Democratic candidate
trying
for
to
JP
think.
15. I've got to get that updated.
So they've inserted another candidate.
They have, the candidate moved out of the district and the Democratic Party has already met and appointed
Okay.
someone. I just need to get it updated on our information.
And here's the law.
Yeah. Because it's not confusing at all which ones, you know,
Because it's also in that unopposed candidate under C.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I just, when you see it in a race, it clicks.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And then our early vote locations, for a runoff election, the county clerk's office is the only thing we'll have
Okay.
open.
Okay.
It will be the week of Thanksgiving, so early vote will be Tuesday, Wednesday, closed Thursday, open Friday,
Friday.
and then Monday, so.
And we don't have to be open on Saturday for that one?
No.
Okay.
And they don't have extended hours. It's normal office hours.
Oh,
It's
good.
8 to 4:30, so it's
Good.
not extended hours either. So, yeah,
Okay.
so. And then, but all of this information, while we're deciding our general election, we also will be deciding this because we'll want to put it in our notice of election too, because of the timing. So that's why I've already got this kind of started.
Okay.
And then going back to West Fork and Greenland.
So,
Like, I'm still really confused. I'm so confused
West
about,
Fork's-
I know it's like March, but
it will be its own separate election.
completely. Okay.
Yep.
So it has nothing to do with this?
No.
Okay.
No, it won't have anything to do with this. It'll be its own separate.
But
election.
during this period, we'll have to make, because it has to be so many days before.
Yes.
Okay.
60 days before, but then
Okay.
30 days before.
I'm sorry, I was thinking it was
For
90.
runoff,
Okay.
yeah, for a runoff election, we have to set this 30 days before, but you don't know the results of
That's
the
okay,
election
right.
until,
Mhm.
until after the 30 days, so you have to preemptively
Right.
kind of just make the plan for what they're going to be. So-
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
hope that somebody wins outright and you don't have
and
to
then we
worry
don't
about
have
it.
To worry about it, but
That is not the way that this year is going.
So, yeah, so of the known elections, these are the ones. So, yeah.
Okay.
That we know. And then election day vote centers. This would be for the runoff election. So I just kind of wanted to lay out basically for the commission, which locations are open in which cities. So if that city had a runoff election, this would be, so for instance, if Farmington had a runoff election, we would open up Main Street Baptist Church.
Okay.
And so the only ones, that we'll have questions on, so that JP District 15,
Mhm.
BCF, Goshen Methodist, Brentwood, and Ridgeview in
Right.
blue. By law, we're required to, unless we state earlier, we're required to have open the polling locations within that district. So technically, inside the district of JP 15, Cornerstone, Elkins, and Goshen Fire are the only ones that are located inside the district. But if you look at this map for JP 15, you'll see that that we may want to open up, for instance, 5 Brentwood. Because these voters that are down in this area would have to drive all the way up to
Oh,
Elkins to vote,
yeah.
and Brentwood is their normal polling place. So I think it would, be fair to those voters if we opened up Brentwood. I suggest possibly Goshen Methodist, because maybe those voters in that area are normally voting at Goshen Methodist. The same thing with Ridgeview. So those will be decisions that we'll have to make, but I wanted to lay those out, those as alternative locations for us to possibly open as well. Because all of these people, I would say, that are kind of in this area here, probably vote at Ridgeview. And the same thing with, if we look at Fayetteville City Ward 4. Covenant is squarely in Ward
Mhm.
4,
Yeah.
but our new Fayetteville Church of Christ is just on the other
Oh.
side in Ward 2. But we would not be servicing the voters in that area
Right.
if we didn't open it up.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gone through to make a preliminary plan of sites to open up, and that's just why I've got that included, because we will have to be thinking about this as we're thinking about the other
Okay.
locations as well. And we will know, it is good for us to meet between August 5th and August the 21st, because then we'll know which runoffs we will potentially have.
yeah.
And I will be able to really narrow this
Yeah,
down, but I wanted to
okay.
give you the big picture right now.
But we don't have to make a decision about that date right now, right?
Which
About
day?
about the August 5th, the
No.
21st. Okay.
No.
Okay. So we can do that in June.
We can
'Cause
do
we are
that
in
at our
June.
Yeah,
June
we'll do that in
16th.
June.
Another June meeting. Because today is June.
Oh, yeah, and we've got
I have to look
budget
at-
to deal with.
School schedules about when they get back to school. And
Oh, yeah,
When
that's right.
schools-
Yeah.
Huh.
that's what I have to figure out, I think.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
See, I've got him starting back on August 11th. So usually during
Wow.
that week, some schools start on that Monday, some go on that
Mhm.
Wednesday, and it's just a little bit chaotic.
Yeah. That's why simplicity would say after Labor Day.
Yeah.
But
But
I
then they
don't-
would go until like they would still be in school now.
It used to be Labor Day to Memorial Day.
that's right, Labor Day to Memorial. I like that.
Yeah.
And then you had snow days and then hurricane days and COVID day. I mean, like whatever.
Okay, let's look at 2026 budget.
I just wanted to kind of show you where we're at with the
Did you get
budget.
this presented from the budget office or whatever?
Yeah, I pull this off of,
Okay.
they have it's called Central Square. So
Okay.
it's, I printed it on
29th.
Friday.
Yeah.
So this is the most current,
Okay.
budget that we have. But we're good on our funds. I know it looks like in personnel services, we have a lot of money there, but early vote will eat up a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of that money. And so, an election day, we'll eat up a lot of that. And then we're still good on general supplies, our small equipment. The ones where we're in the negative with the parentheses, those are things that we don't always put money in the budget, like gravel, dirt and sand.
Yeah.
Like, I have a budget for that, but we had to buy some and they make us itemize it.
Mhm.
So it comes out of general supplies and then eventually I'll put the money down there. So we're not, yeah. But
How is this handicap spot looking out here?
so, they have come and measured, they have come and talked
Mhm.
with us about it. That is in the buildings and grounds budget.
Okay.
To do, but it is on their radar and it is
Okay.
on what they're hoping to be.
Do
able to
they, do they have a timeline for you?
I had hoped before,
Yeah.
before September.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll follow up with Angela, but it is something, it is a little bit more extensive than I think what they were thinking it was going to
Okay.
be, but they do recognize that it does need to be done.
There's definitely an issue
Yeah,
there
it is.
and it needs to be dealt with
It is.
before the November election.
And building security. What
Okay,
is that?
so yes, so that is, unless there's questions about budget, that is our next I've included that.
Are we gonna leave any money on the table?
I will not unnecessarily spend.
Right. Right.
But I do hold on until,
Yeah. the
until
very
I
end.
know, because you just don't know what
Mhm.
might come up. Like, for
Mhm.
instance, during the primary election, we had to get a tow truck for one of the Penske trucks because it got high centered. And so, like, I didn't budget for that,
Yeah.
so I
Mhm.
like to be very prudent with the funds that we have. But yeah. So
And did we ever get a ruling on the extension cords for the 6 feet of the machines? Remember that was?
yeah, we've ordered all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have enough
that's-
money for that.
yeah,
Okay.
So that has already been purchased and already been done.
Good.
So, yeah. So,
And I know one of the voting locations you said there, you had so many machines, but they weren't for privacy issues. Maybe have we discussed maybe a privacy
Oh,
screens
those
for
screens,
those?
yeah.
For like one location,
So-
or does that help, or is that?
it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the way the booths are set up. If they let us have the machines closer together, but since they
Right.
don't, the
Okay.
6 feet is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know you attended something and we reimbursed you for that, right?
So I think that's included in
Okay,
that big, so the state has reimbursed the commissions for having attended, commission training.
Yeah.
I just got the notification that the county has received the funds, and so
Oh,
I'll
good.
work with the
Okay.
comptroller on how I get the funds to y'all. So, yeah.
no, I was
And-
more worried about
yeah.
your training. Did we have
Yes.
to be reimbursed you? You're good?
It's in that.
Okay,
It's in that.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Lump sum too.
Okay.
So, yes. So, yeah, I just have to figure out how to get it to us.
I just wanted to make sure you were covered because
Yeah.
you do work really, really hard and I didn't want you to be out of pocket for anything.
Yeah. So security, that is, look under B. I did make a capital outlay request for badged entrance,
Mhm.
and because it wasn't in my line items, I was like, oh, did I get it? Did I not?
Yeah.
And I went and talked to the comptroller and we did. So we do have $27,730 to spend on badging both this building and that building.
Okay.
We also did have a security enhancement assessment done by the Arkansas Homeland Security and the Secretary of State's office. That is included in here as well. I have not spent that money yet, because it is a possibility that we will get grant funds.
Oh, yeah.
And depending on what grant funds we get, we could evaluate exactly what do we what do we want? We know we want badge doors, but I also think we need cameras, and that's some of the suggestions
Mhm.
too that were made in
Right.
here. And so depending on what the grant is that we receive, then I think we can make that decision, and we should be hearing back from the state, I would think within this month on if we
okay.
receive grant money or
So
not.
that's already been applied for.
Yeah, yes, we have already, they have already come and done the assessment. It's just whether we qualify for any of it.
Then awarded it.
Yes,
Because sometimes you qualify and there's just not enough money.
yeah, and the state will come, but at the very least, we have this dollar amount to be able to get badge doors.
And
for.
does that have to be spent out of this year's budget or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is the redo of the front gonna affect? I mean, it seems to me that the badging of the doors ought to be combined with that in some way, because if we get the wrong kind of badges or something, we're gonna be sort of making do on the rest of it.
So for the building over the South Campus building, that won't, we can
okay.
get that. So this 27 is for both buildings.
Okay.
So we can discuss, and I'll have them come out and look
Mhm.
at the both buildings again. This is the only door that it might impact, but I think when they're planning on doing the ADA, they've already replaced this door once. I don't think they're looking to replace it again.
Oh, so it's basically excuse me, retrofitting this door.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
it would do that door,
Right,
that
and that
door,
one.
and then we've
Okay.
asked for this
Yeah.
door as well.
Okay.
So yes, so
So are you gonna do like a badge that you would hold up to a reader, or are we
Mhm.
talking about a cycle lock?
no, a badge that you hold up to a reader.
Okay.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I
Yeah.
find it out.
We would all have, we
We-
all have those badges. And the nice thing about doing the badges is it'll work through IT. So if for some reason someone is like, I'm done, it will immediately cut it
Oh,
off.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
And so it also will allow us to, when we do deliveries, because sometimes our drivers will need access to the building and they've had to call us to come over and unlock it. We can give temporary badges and then they can be shut off after
Okay.
after the election. So yeah, or, whenever we need them shut off.
I'm just thinking that it all needs to be coordinated so we don't have some screw up that, well, this doesn't work with that.
So IT actually comes in and does it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
they'll contract it out.
Mhm.
Now, if this is the actual dollar amount, it most likely will have to be bid
Mhm.
out.
Oh, of
Because I
course.
think it's over 20,000, I think if it's over 20,000, I think it has to be bid out. So I'll go ahead and get in touch with the comptroller and Jessica in purchasing to
Mhm.
see the steps for the process. I don't think the actual putting it in is that time consuming. I think it's really just,
Oh,
we
sure.
have to open it up for bid for 7 days, I
Mhm.
believe. So something has to be advertised in the paper, like there's
Mhm.
those kind of rules.
So this is just for the badges
Mhm.
and it doesn't really include camera security.
That's why we're hoping that if we get the state funds, or the HAVA, basically the HAVA money, then we can get cameras,
Mhm.
and different things like that. So, yeah.
Okay.
this survey indicating you also have windows in this building and that
Yeah,
building. And
yeah.
you
right.
need to either have a ballistic film on it, also needs to be connected to a
Mhm.
monitored alarm
Okay.
system too. So, because you have them here, of course, and they're over there too. And some
Right.
places over there, they're behind some equipment, I think.
Yeah, a couple of places. Mhm.
Something can be. Anyway. Yeah, there's, you read through that book.
Yeah.
A fair amount that needs to be
again.
done.
Do we have a deadline on when this will all be done? I mean, that would be good to say, we got to have it done by then.
Well, we'll start the process. Like I said, I'll get with IT and I'll get with purchasing. about having them come back out and give us an estimate.
Mhm.
And then, I believe it'll have to be bid. But we have until the end of this year to spend
Oh, right.
this money.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, but I mean, that's, okay, so we get it all done at the end of the year. That doesn't really secure this election.
Right, but we are working
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
process. I honestly don't think, I feel like if we start it now, I think we can have it done before the election.
I hope so.
Because the bid process is not
Yeah,
terribly long.
yeah.
Right, so, yeah.
It's just a matter of who bids it that do you want that?
And you
Right,
can put,
right.
and you can also put in the bid too, you have to complete by set
Exactly,
certain
yeah.
date.
Yeah,
So that it's not just open-ended, like,
Mhm.
we need this completed by this date. And so
Mhm.
when they make their bid, they are
Mhm.
signing off that they can have it done that way.
okay.
But
I'm just thinking the sooner the better.
yeah, I'll follow up with Jessica, in purchasing and kind of get the ball rolling on that. And it may be that we just want to go ahead and spend this money, and then whatever we're awarded, if we are, we may not. The state may be like, oh, other counties need it more than we
Right.
do. Then, but if we were awarded money, then we could see what that would go to as far as cameras.
Right.
And the other things
Yeah.
that are.
And then
accessible.
whatever's not, we can ask for it for next year's budget, or have you? Okay.
We can. So, we have to, submit next year's budget by July 15th. So I'll ask Angela, that's Buildings and Grounds, about getting an estimate for cameras, for that kind of stuff.
That's on our budget, right? The cameras and so forth?
Would be the same capital outlay. If
Oh, okay.
anything is over $5,000, it goes in as a capital outlay. And so we've never asked for this
I
before, so
know.
this was my first go around with this. So it doesn't appear in the budget, and I was like, well, oh, so it does, it's here, and so I was like, I hadn't really thought about it. And so, how we spend it. And so, it'll.
Is this a new item for all of the?
No, it's
departments, just for
because-
us?
Yeah, well, other departments have capital, like when the sheriff's office buys, vehicles
Oh,
and stuff like
okay,
that.
those
they
are,
have it in their, yeah,
okay.
they have it in their capital outlay.
Okay.
So, yeah, so,
So they've already added that to our budget?
yes, so
Okay.
we have that money to spend. We just need to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And spend it. So, and if the commission is in agreement for me to go ahead and start that process, then I will.
I'd say yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
That grant money, you asked for what to,
Yeah,
what for it to include?
They just got too big a hurry up there.
The grant money,
Mhm.
we didn't ask for anything for specific. So
Okay.
when,
Oh.
what happens
Okay.
when they give us grant money,
Mhm.
it has to fall, we say how we want to spend it,
Okay.
but it has to fall into security.
Okay.
When Spencer gave his presentation on how the grant money works, he said you can't get a new roof,
Right.
you know?
okay.
But it
That's
will,
reasonable.
it will pay for things like security cameras. It would pay for things like fireproof safes. One county did have the blue ballot boxes that go into the DS-200s. They bought blue, so it will go for anything that is security related.
Okay.
So, yeah. And honestly, for this capital outlay, it was one of those things where we got moved in here, and then we'd already started January. You're already working
Right.
on the primary.
Mhm.
So honestly, this is kind of our first look at.
To just really
We-
think about it.
yeah.
Mhm.
How long have you been?
So, we moved in, December 2024.
Okay.
And then we had talked about the badged entrances in 2025,
Right.
but it wasn't in our budget. That's why I asked for it in 2026. So we did, yeah. So,
Okay. I'm more concerned about that back door.
Yes.
so the one,
And Spencer, when he was here, that was
Yes.
something he spoke about.
Yeah.
the one nice thing about that back door though is those gates are
Right,
locked.
right.
So,
But that's,
yeah,
I don't know. Somebody wants to get in,
they'll get
that's not
in.
gonna stop them.
No, yeah.
I want you guys to be secure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has there been any discussion about, some type of a panic button?
Oh, yeah, the
People
panic
are here
button.
working,
Right.
and
So,
how that would be, installed, and where would it, and who would be notified?
so I went back to my notes because this has been brought up before to panic buttons. And my notes that I have, is that panic buttons, at least for what the county thinks of, you actually have to have, they look at it as having security in the building. So for instance, at the courthouse, if you hit a panic button, there's deputies
Everything
in the
locks down.
courthouse and they would respond, but obviously we don't have deputies
Right.
in the building. So it's kind of like, I don't think any of these buildings down here have panic buttons.
How about, emergency management?
I don't think so the other part of this equation too was when we call 911, who do we get? We get Fayetteville
Mhm.
PD and not the sheriff's office
Oh,
because
right.
Mhm. we're in the city of Fayetteville, even
Mm.
though we're a county building. So I called Amber, who is at the
Mhm.
emergency building, and she was out next week. So I'm going to follow up with her this week to kind of see how that works and to ask about the panic buttons. But
Mhm.
the information I've looked back in my notes for panic buttons is always like, it doesn't work because you don't have security in the building. I don't, that is
Okay.
just,
Do they not have security over there either?
no,
Wow.
no, the only building.
I mean, they do have a badge to get in though.
They do. No, and we can choose, and we do
Mhm.
to keep this door locked. We don't,
Oh,
you
you
know,
keep it
yeah,
locked during,
yeah, and especially if there's only one of us in here.
oh, yeah,
We keep it locked.
yeah.
So yeah, we don't necessarily just keep the door
It's
open.
not ready access.
No,
Okay.
no, and so all the doors we do keep locked. The only buildings that have security are the buildings with the judges. So, that's the main reason that there's,
And I've looked at this issue before, like a million years ago, when the judges weren't in the public defender's building. We looked at the panic buttons, and again, so Central is now housed at the sheriff's office. But I still think I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 dispatch centers within Fayetteville.
Mm.
So there's like Fayetteville Dispatch, there's Central ambulance. Yes, thank you. I'm thinking Central.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're at the sheriff's deputies now, but I still don't think there's like a cost to it. There's an installation fee. I think there may have been a monthly fee to it. So it just may be something that if we do decide to go with that, just what those fees are and how much. And if
Yeah.
you decide not to use them,
Yeah.
and then the other thing is even for election nights, we do have
we have a deputy.
we have
Yeah,
deputy
right,
here. So
Right.
it's just not after hours and it's not normal.
Mhm.
Right. But yeah, and the sheriff's office has always been wonderful to give us a deputy when we ask for one. So they had one here election night, both for the primary and the and the runoff, and they will for the
Yeah, future elections.
so.
And if you guys are here by yourselves, I know you guys work a lot of late nights, but do you call over to the sheriff's deputies office
So
and
if you
say,
call 911, you
Yeah.
get Fayetteville.
Right.
And then they try and say, oh, well,
Oh,
you
you
need to
need
call the
help.
sheriff's office. And then the sheriff is like, well, so if you're calling the non-emergency number, you don't always get someone so
Somebody
bad.
on the line.
So that's why I have a phone call in to Amber. I feel like if anybody and if not, I may go to the sheriff's office, but I feel like Amber will know,
Mhm.
kind of how we need to navigate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's also, the Veterans Office has the same kind of
Mhm.
thing too, because they're a county building, but they're, they're
Yeah.
on North Street. So they get city, but then they also get the, U of A,
Oh.
so it's kind of like, who has jurisdiction?
even though they're
So-
right here and they're the closest to it.
Yeah, it's not my place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe it's something as informal as, hey, we're here in the building to
I think
to
that's
control
probably
center.
something.
Because
that-
somebody's always there. I
yeah.
mean, booking it doesn't shut down. It's 24 hours.
Yeah.
So maybe,
And I know that, if for some reason we were concerned to walk to our cars, the deputies would come. We wouldn't need to call the non-emergency number and we
uh-huh.
could call and get the
Yeah,
deputies
but
to escort
you're
us.
saying that's not always accessible.
Well, it's not like calling 911.
Right,
Like your emergency, non-emergency will just ring and someone will answer it,
Mhm.
but it's not immediate like
Maybe 30 days later.
911. No.
Well,
So, yeah.
whatever you do, you need to have some, needs to go somewhere where somebody can
Exactly.
dispatch, you know, a uniformed officer.
Yeah.
here quickly.
And I'm sure with the construction, it's just really dark out here.
Oh, and that's a good point too.
Mhm.
We need better lighting out there.
Well, and that's
Yes.
part of,
Mhm.
reasons why we work
Buildings
with the
and-
road department. The
Mhm.
road
Oh.
department for election night brought
Right,
in
right, and those
those
were
two
great.
massive lights for us over here and over
Mhm.
there. So,
Yeah.
and that'll be something I know that they'll work with us.
That was,
Yeah.
that was really great because it lit up the parking lot. It made
It did,
complete
it made,
difference.
it made it feel safe because it was, there was nothing in the dark. Everything was
Right.
completely lit up out
Right.
there.
And you
So,
could see the
yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Before
was-
there, everybody was using their phones with different
Yeah,
flashlights.
so it made a big difference.
Okay, you've got, you must have bought some new ballot
I
paper.
haven't yet,
Oh,
but
you
I just
haven't.
wanted you to see
You want us to
what I'm
approve?
getting ready to have to spend.
We already approved that. I
This
guess.
this was for the primary. But I'm getting ready to have to spend close to $12,000
Again,
on,
Okay.
yeah, on ballots.
okay.
So just, that's one of the reasons I'm like, okay, what big items
Ah.
do we have? And
Yeah.
ballots, I can't just get off anywhere. So, yeah, so, this will be a big, that is not currently spent. I
Mhm.
haven't spent that money yet, but I'll be
Okay.
ordering that this summer so that we get all of that in.
Okay.
And plus we can use this for future things.
So we
Right?
don't order too much ahead of time because it's thermal paper and it will go bad. So we
Yeah.
try and order it so that it will get us through the
Just in
general,
time.
the runoff, and then next year. Because if you order,
Yeah.
like if at the end of the year I had a lot of money left and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy ballots,
Mhm.
it, in 2 years' time, it won't be working well. And then, of course, we'll be ordering the I voted stickers and that's was the cost for those.
Okay.
Those were the only other kind of odd ticket items I knew that we have coming up.
Okay. Now, is there gonna be I noticed this is from September of 24. Is
Right.
there gonna be a huge increase in that, or has Absolute Solutions said that's what we'll get this year?
I haven't asked her, but she's pretty good to keep the prices
Okay,
at reasonable
okay.
rates. So, yeah,
'Cause there's a lot of places that are just
yeah.
up in their prices on everything. Okay, other questions on that stuff? Moving on to 2027.
So, yes.
We are?
The
Okay.
budget process will start, now. We have to have our budgets back to the comptroller's office by July 15th. The 2025 budget that I've included here will be more similar
Oh,
to
yeah,
the budget that we present for 2027.
okay.
So that's why I've included it here, so you can kind of see, obviously, our spending goes way down.
Yeah.
In, the following year. And I'll start, getting those documents prepared and everything. So when,
Okay.
as we're meeting these next couple of times, I'll have that information for us.
The postage for West Fork and Greenland, is that out of our budget?
No, the
or-
county clerks. Yeah. She has very large budget. for
Just checking.
Ours is mailing poll worker checks and then for provisional ballot letters. But yeah, she handles all of the other stuff. So yeah.
Are we good on computers and stuff?
So depending on what we have left over this year, we just got new computers in 2024 for everybody except me. I think, but I would like to order 2 more because like Debbie doesn't have her own dedicated one and
Mhm.
Tiffany doesn't have one. So depending on what money we have left over this year, I may look at
Okay.
computers for them. My laptop that I have is probably 6, 7 years
Oh.
old, maybe. And these are 2016, I think.
Oh.
So, yeah, so we'll look at that. If not,
Hmm.
we can add that into the 27
have to get-
budget.
IT recommendations first, or can you?
So I can't, so when we order, the desktops, we get those through IT because they have to make sure
Yeah.
they go to the server and all of that. So, yeah.
Okay. And
Well,
how
is there
about,
a line here for capital improvements such as, the security stuff? How do you cover that?
For 2026 or
27.
27?
no, what I will do is, I will get with Buildings and Grounds and get a cost estimate of what it would cost for cameras and all of that.
Mhm.
So that way it can be included in as a capital expense for our 2027 budget.
In ARPA.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay,
Are-
okay, so we just have to, that's yet to be added.
Yeah.
Are there other buildings that have camera setups
So-
right now?
I don't know. I know that there's some on the outside of the road department building.
Oh.
I feel like over at the library, there might be some.
Mhm.
I've made I asked Angela this
Mhm.
the other day, but I'll
Ah.
follow up. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
And then my follow-up question to that would be, would you have access to it? I mean, I know it sounds kind of silly, but who's watching them?
yeah, who's
it,
watching?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good
So,
question.
Yeah, I don't know. So
Because I mean,
ask
I
those
feel like
questions.
we would need to have
Right.
And then
some awareness of
Yeah.
that.
is it tied into the county system? Because the
Mm.
rest of the courthouse is on,
I would say it would be tied into the county system.
But-
I don't know.
yeah,
I
but then you might
honestly-
not have access to it then.
Yeah.
So it's always like, yes, I can give you access, but
Right.
I want to watch.
Yeah.
Or is it something as simple as a Ring camera? And so that when deliveries come, does it have to be like, who does it Wi-Fi? Is it secure?
Mhm.
Mm.
So I'll ask
Yeah,
all those questions.
okay.
So,
Okay, so we're not actually looking at a 27 budget. So
No.
you'll have to put those
I'll
numbers
have to get
together.
those numbers together, but just to give you an
Mhm.
idea,
Mhm.
Okay,
this is the closest, of what that will look like.
moving on to I voted.
So,
That's coming right up.
it is, next Friday is the deadline for all of our things. We will meet on the 16th at, 9 to pick the finalists.
Okay,
And then on the 18th, we'll have in-person voting. And then we'll have online voting the 22nd to the 25th, and then the 26th we'll announce the winner. So,
okay.
but at that meeting, like for instance, on the 16th, we can also rediscuss some of the other
Okay, yeah.
items. So it's not just a meeting for the I voted sticker contest. I
Will
don't,
will you have some budget numbers at that point?
yes, I
Okay.
should. Yeah. And hopefully I'll have information about the security,
Okay.
like hopefully I have, I have some more information on that. And
This is
then
really cute.
the kids, so we did this on Lincoln on Saturday and the kids had a blast.
Yeah,
T-Rex was by far the favorite dinosaur,
Mm.
of everything, but they actually got to vote on the electronics. And we'll be, at Elkins July 1st and, Prairie Grove July 9th, the Springdale Library July 11th, and West Fork Library July 22nd. So we'll take the electionosaurus to them. Now, some of those events really are just us there and letting the kids vote.
yeah.
They have other things, but that's when they think they'll have enough kids there, to
Oh,
kind of come in
gotcha.
and vote.
Yeah.
So it'll be kind of low key.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think this is great. I think it gets everybody involved. And I also think it gives you guys another chance to like play with the machines and
Yes.
not play with machines, but just get.
I wasn't gonna say that, anything about that.
But building the election.
Right.
It is
More
an
practice.
opportunity to practice building the election, not just that, but we print out ballots on the BOD, so it's like
Mhm.
all the things. So, yeah.
And the spacing and what are you allowed to do? Because I feel like when we get into this, nobody wants to make a mistake or alter anything. And this kind of gives you that freedom to do that. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about this. I don't know if my granddaughters will even want to do it, but do they have to go through a library to do the,
Nope.
okay.
They can go actually on our website and download the form.
Oh, is that right?
And just print it.
Okay, I didn't pay
Yeah.
attention to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
It's harder on your phone because I didn't immediately see it, but when you go to an
Oh,
actual
okay.
desktop, or
Gotcha.
check your email.
yeah, when I check my,
There's a
oh my
link in it.
goodness.
The left-hand side.
I'll have to look further.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, time for destroying some ballots.
Yes, so we have Shred It come in and
Mhm.
actually destroy the ballots. We are working on getting that coordinated. So this would just be the destruction order for anything we have left over from 2023 and then the 2024 election materials.
Okay.
So if the commission would sign that, that way we can. If
Free up some
that,
space.
yes, we have to keep everything for 2 years. And so we'll do it now so that we can clear up that space. And then probably in December, we'll do another destruction order for the November, the general 2024 and the runoff from 2024.
Gotcha.
The one that we just did for the audit purposes, do we have to keep that longer?
No, just 2
Okay.
years.
I figured you some special rules.
Yeah. Only if we had been like Saline County and gotten sued, then that would change. Yes. Thanks.
How are things going down there?
I haven't looked yet, but I think they had their hearing on, Friday.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I know it was posted.
Ah. All right, state audits.
So, we did not get chosen.
We were
for
not
state
chosen.
audit, although the state
feel like
keeps
we were.
teasing that they're gonna make a special category for us.
Oh, is that right?
Yes,
Oh, my
teasing me.
goodness.
But we did go and do Benton County's audit that came out 100% with the SBEC. And then we are going to Newton and Madison County on the 15th.
Oh,
to
they're still
assist-
doing them.
We're gonna assist the SBEC on the 15th, Newton and Madison County, and then on the 17th, we're going to Crawford County.
Okay,
So-
and that's the whole slate?
In this area.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it is helpful when we get to go see the audits because it's no pressure on us. 'Cause it's
Right.
not our stuff. But I think that was what really prepared us for when we did that hand recount because we had assisted in 2024 with the state audits. We kind of knew
Yeah,
how to set it up, what we needed to do and all of that. So, yeah, so we'll help them again.
I think you need to bookmark that we videoed all that, didn't we?
Yes.
I think anybody who asks you how those things are done, you show them what we did. And I mean, that pretty much covers all the bases as far as how good and how thorough that all was. And I mean, it gives you no doubt, especially when the numbers all come up the same.
And everything was hand recounted. Like,
Yeah.
every single ballot box was
Yeah.
hand recounted. So, yeah.
I thought that was excellent work
Yeah.
and plan.
Stressful. But it's still,
Yeah,
yeah.
But also that validation that everything was done correctly.
exactly. Yeah,
So,
that's huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Other business? Anything?
Have we overwhelmed you?
Just so fit in. Trying to keep
Well,
things
the
straight.
thing is, having this, you
Yeah,
can
it's
go
very-
home
Very helpful.
and,
Yeah, I'm
and
taking.
it's gonna just take time to go through it all,
Yeah.
review. And, you know, you can actually go back to any of the videos too.
Yeah.
So,
No, I think I'm good so far. I still have a lot of reading to do.
Yeah.
And, I did have, been looking through this law book here too. Uh, are there any published standards by the state for how you're supposed to store these voting machines or anything like that?
no, not that. That is on a case by case basis. We are fortunate that we actually have our own building to store stuff in. There are some counties, well, okay, I say, we used to store our voting equipment in the old jail.
Oh, yeah.
In where the prosecutor's office was, in the mechanical room.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the reason I ask that is because it seems to me the state ought to provide some standards.
They should.
Yeah.
And then, and then you work your budget accordingly to meet
Yeah.
those standards. Right now that's a warehouse over there and
Mhm.
it looks like it's nice and dry. Building's not really,
Right.
really secure, so. But I just wonder, like, there's no sprinklers in any of these buildings, but would you want sprinklers there where you got voting machines? So maybe-
We had sprinkled, but it wasn't sprinklers.
Yeah, so I mean, would you mind if I made a call down there and try to talk to somebody and see if they have standards?
No, I
Because,
mean,
it just seems to me that, well,
talk to,
each county ought to be provided some guidance,
would,
along with some latitude, I guess. I mean, if you don't have standards for, storing these machines, then
Mhm.
how much money's in that building? See, I know.
No, I don't have, where would you go to the SBEC? I don't know that they've never really expressed any of that to us, have they?
I think the thing we hear back from ESNS is they need to be stored in a climate controlled building. We
Yeah.
always get that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not standard across the state.
And that's just CS&S, because they're
some-
trying to cover themselves.
Right, yeah, some counties don't have
Yeah.
in climate controlled buildings. I think part of it is because, every county's different and,
Oh, I get that,
yeah,
yeah.
the
Hasn't been
storage.
mandated by the
Yeah.
legislature at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But I think you want to be careful having a mandate from the legislature. I think having rules
Yeah,
from the
that's what the
SBEC
SBEC does.
Guidelines.
or guidelines or
Best
something,
practices.
best
Something like
practices,
that.
yeah.
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 Because you really don't, I mean, just everybody's kind of using their best judgment. It sounds
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this isn't at the top of the list.
Get on that list
Yeah.
and you'll see. No, I'm thinking that some county, and I don't remember which one it was, way back, was saying, well, we've got our machines in the basement of our courthouse that's falling down
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
And, it was, I hate to say it, it was somewhat casual, the way they figured it not to be a problem.
Yeah.
So,
Now, unless the machines are in play there's nothing you can other than destroying the machines,
Yeah.
other than doing something like that, but there's nothing in the machines at this moment that are
would be affected.
of a security kind of thing. But yeah, so.
There is, there's a motherboard in that machine, correct?
Yeah,
Even
it
though
has-
it's not, I mean,
Not what
it's,
holds the votes. It holds.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
but
what
it
holds
is
the
to,
count, the overall
yeah.
count of the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it has a thumb drive in it.
right,
There
and you
is-
remove those.
Yeah, there isn't anything you can do other than turn it on and see what election is
Right.
loaded on it.
Right,
That's
And if there's
all. you
nothing
can
on it,
do.
it doesn't work.
Now, the Ivotronics the express votes hold the election
Mhm.
over from one election until you
Oh,
clear it. But even at that, there isn't, what are you gonna do with,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
well, my suggestion would be, if you want to visit with Chris Madison or, I mean, John knows practically everything about elections
John Davidson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for 100 years.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's the one
Yeah.
that you would talk to first, but I would introduce yourself to the people on the SBEC
Okay.
and just, maybe, get a feel for where they are on.
I'm trying to think if they have, because they have rules and stuff like that. I don't know that there's anything on their website, but I can ask. John Moody is our ESNS.
Oh,
person,
right, yeah.
from the state. I can ask him if ESNS provides, because they have practice.
Guidelines, yeah.
They have a best practices, and I can ask John Moody if ESNS has one. So, yeah.
And that might help to give us, some guidelines on how to better protect the machinery over there and how to secure what we have here in order to,
As you know, there's a small but very vocal and group that doesn't like these machines.
yes, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
In Independence County, they almost went to a paper ballot. JP's finally woke up and said, we're not doing that.
Well, but that has been that's gonna be a matter of re-looking because I mean, I could be wrong. I know that JP's overturned something, but then
They
they
did,
did that to
yeah.
the Supreme Court
They did.
and it overturned. Now, I don't know what that's gonna I don't know what that means for Independence County.
Sometimes it's just remanded to the judge for.
I think
one
that's
thing or
what
another.
I think it goes back to the circuit court
Mm,
and so I haven't seen that case pop up yet.
I know the county judge on Lance County, what's going on with that.
yeah. That'd be, I think more than anything else, just, introduce yourself to the various
Yeah,
SBEC people and,
okay.
uh, open up some
Yeah. I don't
communication
want to
with
open
them.
up a can of worms.
No.
Just curious if they have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and your point is well made that if the state comes down and says, these are the standards, then it helps the county to want to prioritize
Yeah,
spending the money.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of times, and that was one of the reasons why when we had, Spencer come and do the walkthrough with us for a
Mhm.
security assessment, that gives me something
Exactly.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
take to the county and
Absolutely.
say, hey, this is what the state is saying that we need as standards.
Mm.
And it's not just something that
We
we
want.
came up, right?
Right.
And
We-
so,
We
Validated.
learned some years ago that we didn't really want to go back to the quorum court to request money
Mhm.
without a
Got
real
it.
good backup case
Right.
of it's not just us.
right.
okay,
And,
all right. Well, always nice to know where you stand.
it is, and that's why we like being down here. Anyway, any other business? No. Okay.